Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. This is Fall Classic Baseball 2021. Yes, sirree, I got the itch for a modern game. I don't know if it'll go beyond this one game, but I got the itch and I decided let me go with the opening day of 2021 between the Mets and the Phillies. We're at Philadelphia. It's going to be Jacob DeGrom against Matt Moore, the left-hander. So the righty DeGrom versus the lefty Matt Moore. Now this is a kind of a side game from, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm replaying the 76 Yankees and I'm replaying the 59 Braves. And I want to complete those replays before I start anything new. But I did feel I was in the mood to play a game beyond um, the older seasons that I play. Just maybe a one-off today, and we are at I believe it's Veterans Stadium, right? Let me double check here. I have it up somewhere. Oh wait, I did have it there. Let's see. Citizens Bank Park. Okay. And basically it treats lefties and righties fair equally. So that was one thing that I noticed right off the bat. And let's get started. Let's play some ball. Let me go over the lineups. Kevin Pillar, center fielder for the Mets, opening day. Lindor, the shortstop. Conforto in right field. Alonso, the first baseman, cleanup. Fifth is J.D. Davis at third base. Sixth is second baseman Jeff McNeil. James McCann, the catcher, Brandon Nimmo, the left fielder, and Jacob DeGrom, the pitcher. For the Phillies, it's going to be McCutchen in left field, Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman, Bryce Harper in right field, batting cleanup is Real Muto, the catcher. Fifth is Alec Bohm, third base. Sixth is Didi Gregorius, shortstop. Gene Segura, the second baseman, batting seventh. Adam Hazley, the center fielder, batting eighth, and batting ninth is Matt Moore. So let's do this. I guess I'll roll some dice. You roll 2d6, and then, of course, the d20. I use it for the quick outs chart. Now it'll tell me the out if there is an out. Now let me just tell you, Matt Moore has his B stuff. A little bit has a tendency to walk batters, and DeGrom has his C stuff, which is better than Matt Moore's B stuff. I mean, his C stuff is lights out. I don't know that any player, any pitcher can be very much better than this card that he had in his 15 starts, 92 innings with an 0.5 whip and a 7-2 one-loss record in 2021 for Jacob DeGrom. Hopefully he'll be back soon with the Mets, and let's get started. Kevin Pillar is leading off, and let's see what happens. I printed out this pre-filled score sheet from digidugout.com, and you can go there and print out your score sheets. It saves you time and energy. And let's do it. Let's roll for Kevin Pillar. He's a right-handed batter versus Matt Moore, the lefty. And that's going to be a 62, and a 62 will be a bouncer to third base, picked up by Bohm, and he throws out Pillar for the first out of the ball game. So just like that, we are underway. Francisco Lindor is a switch hitter. He'll be batting from the right side against the lefty. And a 23 will be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. 2 outs for Matt Moore. Next is Michael Conforto, the pitch, and that's a 45, which will be a grounded to second, and that will retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down. Mets nothing, and the Phillies coming to bat. Andrew McCutchen leading off. He's a right-handed hitter against Jacob DeGrom. Here's the pitch. And that's a 66. That's a deep drive to left and down the line. If it stays fair, it's gone and is gone. Home run for Andrew McCutchen. So the first batter of 2021, and they take DeGrom yard. RBI for solo shot for Andrew McCutchen. Here's Rhys Hoskins now. That's a 25. Will be a fly ball center field. easy pickings for the center fielder Pilar. One away. Here's should be Bryce Harper now. There he is. And that's a 61, which will be strike 3. And Harper swings and misses at a slider from DeGrom for out number 2. And here's JT Realmuto with a 23, and he strikes out back-to-back Ks, and 1 run comes in on the solo home run, leadoff home run by Andrew McCutchen. And it's 1-0 Phillies. We go to the top of the second. It's going to be Pete Alonso, J.D. Davis, and Jeff McNeil. Pitch from Matt Moore, the lefty, a 56, and he checks his swing. They check with the first base umpire. He went around, rings him up, and Alonso doesn't like it, just walks off, shaking his head. Second strikeout for Moore, and DeGrom has 2 as well. Here's J.D. Davis, right-handed hitter, with a 63, and checks his swing, and that's strike 3 called. That's a strike, and that is the 3rd strikeout for Moore. He heads back to the bench, back-to-back Ks. And here's Jeff McNeil with a 52. That's going to be an error defensive check on, let's see, the second baseman. There'll be a 2-base throwing error. So let's see who's playing second base. I don't have they actually print out all the defensive numbers, but I didn't print those out. So Gene Segura at second base. This is probably going to be an error because it's a 3. At second base, it will be an error. It's going to be a 2-base error, and that sends Jeff McNeil to second base. All right, and here comes James McCann with a runner at second base. And the 32 will be a line out, hit hard right at the left fielder McCutchen, and that retires the side. So no runs, no hits, an error, 1 left, and we go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Phillies. It's going to be Alec Bohm, Didi Gregorius, and Gene Segura against Jacob DeGrom with a 13, and that's strike 3, 3rd strikeout of the day for DeGrom. Next up is Didi Gregorius. He bats from the left side. Ex-Yankee with a 34, and that'll be strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Jacob DeGrom. See if he can strike out the side. Here's Gene Segura, right-handed hitter, and that is a bounce out to the shortstop Lindor. On target to Alonso, and that retires the side. All right, so no runs, no hits, 2 strikeouts for DeGrom. We move to the top of the 3rd inning. Brandon Nimmo leading off against Matt Moore, lefty on lefty. Here's a pitch. That's a 14, and that'll be a line out right at the center fielder, Hazley. 1 down. Here's DeGrom. Pitcher batting card 7. I didn't want to print out his card of 34, and that'll be a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. So DeGrom's on with a single. It's the first hit of the game for the Mets here in the top of the 3rd inning. Kevin Pillar next. And 46 is going to be a drive in the gap. And DeGrom is going to go to 3rd, and it looks like Pillar is going to try for 2. That is 19 is the right fielder. Right fielder is Bryce Harper. Let's see what kind of arm Harper has. Harper has an arm of 4, so 1-4, and he throws out Pillar, trying for a double, and he is out at second base. So it's a 9-6 single and a 9-6. DeGrom goes to 3rd on this. So 2 out. And it's Francisco Lindor. Perfect on the money throw by the right fielder, Bryce Harper. Here's the pitch. Not playing right field this year. 34, and that's bounced up the middle, and that's a base hit. So an RBI single, and the game is tied. Scoring is DeGrom. So Lindor is on at first, And here's Michael Conforto, 42, ball 4, so he walks. So now we got runners on first and second for the Mets here with 2 outs in the top of the third. Yeah, Conforto at first, Lindor at second, and Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso with good power, hit 37 home runs. Here's a pitch, and that is a 21, strike 3, and that retires the side. 4th strikeout of the day for Matt Moore, but the Mets tie it up with 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave a couple. We move to the bottom of the third. It's going to be the bottom of the order, Hazley, Moore, and then we'll flip it. It'll be Andrew McCutchen. Here's a pitch from DeGrom, and it's a 52 with a 7. That's going to be an error check. Remember, 51, 52, and 53 would be a range check. 51 and 52 are error checks. It's a check on the left fielder. The Mets left fielder is Nimmo, and I'll have to look at Nimmo's card for his error number in left field. We rolled a 7, so hopefully it's less than a 7. And his left fielder error is a 0, so he made no errors in left field. So he makes the running catch. 1 away. Matt Moore is next. Matt Moore's card is a generic 1, so that's not good at all. Mostly strikeouts. 25 struck him out. Number 5 for DeGrom. Top of the order now, 2 outs. Andrew McCutchen. And a 62, strike 3, and that's 6 for DeGrom. 3 up and 3 down, easy inning for the DeGrominator. And J.D. Davis leading off. J.D. Davis and McNeil and McCann here in the top of the 4th in a 1-1 tie. Here's the pitch, J.D. with a 45, and that'll be bounced to the shortstop. Gregorius, a strike to Hoskins for the first out. 1 away. Jeff McNeil next, and he reached on an error by the second baseman at 22, and that's a fly ball center field in the gap, and after it is Hazley, and he runs it down. Great catch by Hazley. James McCann next with 2 outs. A 21, strike 3, and that retires the side. That's number 5 for Moore. No runs, no hits, none left. At the bottom of the 4th inning. I asked these guys to enlarge these numbers. So small, hard to read. There we go. All right, bottom of the 4th, it's Rhys Hoskins leading off against DeGrom. And that's a 43. It'll be a bouncer to the shortstop. Lindor over to Alonso for the first out. So easy grounder. Here's Bryce Harper, 25, and that's strike 3. Got him, number 7 for DeGrom. 2 outs now. He's a beast. DeGrom's a beast. Real Muto with a 13 and bounce to short. Lindor charges, bare hands. It fires to first, and just gets Real Muto by half a step. Real Muto, probably one of the fastest catchers in the league. A little bit of 2021 modern baseball here. Opening day for the Mets against the Phillies using the actual lineups. I printed the sheet out from Digi Dugout using Fall Classic Baseball. And it's going to be Brandon Nimmo leading off against Matt Moore. It's 1-1 here in the top of the 5th, so we have a good game going. Try to push these pitchers to go at least 7. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I won't let them go any more than 7. That wouldn't be very realistic nowadays. Here's a pitch, and that's a 44. That is rip base hit for Nimmo. Lines one to center, and he's on at first. We're going to the DeGrominator will square to bunt, and it is a good bunt to the third baseman over to first. So it's 5 to second baseman covering, and going to second is Nimmo. The go-ahead run is at second base. Matt Moore will be facing Kevin Pillar here in the top of the 5th. 1-1. Pitch to Pillar, and that's a 13, which will be a ground ball to the first baseman. That'll allow Nimmo to go to third. So a G3, 2 out. And here's Francisco Lindor. The pitch, and a 54. That's going to be one of those odd plays, maybe even a wild pitch. with a 9. Well, we're not looking at that. Actually, 54 will read with runners on base, men on base, and it gives me an 8. Matt Moore has a wild pitch rating of 17, so that's a wild pitch, and the Mets have taken the lead on a wild pitch. Yikes. So wild pitch, top 5, Nimmo scores. And Lindor's still up. And that's a 64. Will be a bounce to the second base. Segura's there and throws out Lindor to retire the side. But the Mets go ahead 2-1 on the single, of sacrifice, and then the grounder that moved them to third in a wild pitch by Moore. 1 run on 1 hit, and the score is 2-1 now. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies are going to bring up Alec Bohm, Didi Gregorius, and Gene Segura against the DeGrominator. That's going to be a 45, and that is bounced to the third baseman, picked up by J.D. Davis. Fires high. Nice stretch by Alonso for the first out. Next up is Didi Gregorius, left-handed hitter, with a 33. That is a fly ball in the gap, and right on the run is Conforto, and he tracks it down. Got a good read on that ball right off the bat. 2 outs. And here's Gene Segura, right-handed hitter. He's 0 for 1 with a 23, strike 3, and that is number 8 for DeGrom, 3 up and 3 down. So both pitchers have gone 5 innings, which is kind of already unusual for 2021. It was kind of crazy with hitting, pretty much. Michael Conforto is up. Pete Alonso, and then it's J.D. Davis. So we have a lefty and 2 righties against Matt Moore. Here's a pitch. Conforto, not a great hitter, a 15, and he strikes out. Number 6 for Matt Moore. Matt Moore started 13 games, had a 1.5 whip, not very good at all, but he's doing great today. Here's Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso with a 23, strike 3, number 7 for Matt Moore. Everybody's striking out. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, and J.D. Davis. Oh, what is Hazley doing there? Hazley should be there. And J.D. Davis with a 45, and that'll be a fly ball left field. McCutchen settles under it and squeezes it for out number 3. Go to the bottom of the 6th after 5.5. It's 2-1 Mets. Let's be the bottom of the order. Hazley, Moore, and McCutchen. We're starting to go into the. Let me quickly pull up the box score so I can see who they used. I'm not going to use the same guys, but I just want to know who was available. So they used Joyce. I think he's a switch hitter. As a pinch hitter, they used Brad Miller as a pinch hitter. So they used Roman Quinn as an outfielder pinch runner. So that's what was going on last year. I like to keep it historical. I'm not going to do exactly what they did, but I'd like to. The first pinch hitter they used was Matt Joyce. So I may be able to use him here. Now it's tricky because this game gives you all the cards. So I have to gives you all the cards. So I put the hitters in one area and then the batters in another area. So hopefully I can find. Batters say B, right? And then the pitchers say T for throws. So let's see if I can find Joyce. I believe he was a switch hitter. I'm saying that. Here's Brad Miller, who's a lefty. So here's Matt Joyce. Now, Matt Joyce was a lefty, so my mistake, and Roman Quinn was used as well. And then as the pitchers, they used Kinsler, and Coonrod, Brogdon, and Alvarado. They actually won this game. The score of this original game was 5-3 Phillies. All right, so then at the back end, I have the pitchers. So I already have some hitters. So then I'm going to grab some pitchers. Let's see. Medina, Krause, Pauling, Doey, Damon Jones, Nick Maton, Sanchez, Romero, Ian Kennedy, Okay. Just grabbing some pictures here, going through. Again, you get all the players, so it's kind of tricky. Now, I could have separated them before the game, but it gives me a chance to just. So Alvarado pitched in this game. Brogdon pitched in this game. They were guys that pitched pretty much the whole. Coonrod, another guy. Alvarado, Coonrod, Brogdon, and one guy that I'm missing is Kinsler. Let's see if I find Kinsler. Here it is, Brandon Kinsler. So I have them all. He pitched 29 games. All right. So I have my pitchers. I have my pinch hitters. Probably going to pinch hit with Matt Joyce. And then I'll see who I'm going to bring in. So let's do this here in the bottom of the sixth. It's 2-1 Mets. It's Hazley leading off. Here's a pitch from DeGrom. That's a 35, and it'll be strike 3, and he goes down on strikes. Number 9 for DeGrom. We got a pinch hitter here now. So it will be Matt Joyce. Pinch hitter in the 6th inning. All right. Lefty. Here's a pitch from DeGrom. And that's a 36, will be an out. It's popped up. Middle infield, shortstop. Calls off the second baseman, and it's in Lindor's glove for the second out of the inning. Here's the top of the order now. McCutchen, who homered for the only Philadelphia run in the first inning. Pitch to McCutchen. It's a 41, and that'll be a 1-4 base on balls, and he loses them. He walks them. Holy smokes. It had to be a 1-4 roll on that D20 for a walk. So it's a 2-out walk by DeGrom. And that's going to bring up Rhys Hoskins, who's got good power. Yikes. All right, here goes. Rhys Hoskins. DeGrom looks in to McCann for the sign. He sets and deals. And that is a 23. Struck him out, and that retires the side. DeGrom with number 10. Yikes. This guy is lights out. All right. Here comes J.D. Davis. Actually, it's McNeil leading off. We're going to have a lefty, a righty, and a lefty. So we're going to bring in the lefty. Who can we bring in? Let's see. Ray Kindler. We got, I think Alvarado was like it's. No, Alvarado was not. Yeah, we're going to bring in Alvarado and see what kind of stuff Alvarado has. Let's roll that. D20, he will have his B stuff. Matt Moore had his B stuff as well. DeGrom has his C stuff. All right, let's do it. So top of the inning, top of the 7th, McNeil leads off against Alvarado. Let me do something real quick here. He's got his B stuff. What I do is I use the Post-its. It helps me visualize, and rather than looking at 3 columns, I have only 1 column to look at, so I don't screw up. So we're going to look at Alvarado's B stuff. There we go. And here goes. Pitch to McNeil. McNeil with a 33, and that is ball 4. He walks, and he's going to have a chance to steal. There he goes, and a 20. That may be an error on the pitcher throwing over, and no, it's going to be 18-20 is going to be a pickoff. So he is a lefty with what kind of an arm? He's got an average arm lefty. So 1-6, he's out. 7-17, he's safe, and 18-20 is a throwing error. And I roll an 11. He's back safely. All right, so here is James McCann now. And McCann will square the bunt. Not a good bunter, and he strikes out. Not a good thing. Brandon Nimmo's next. Pitch to Nimmo, lefty on lefty, a 31, and that'll be bounced up the middle and through for a base hit. Let's see how far McNeil goes. McNeil, if he's an F, he will advance. And I believe he's an F, but we'll see what happens. Oh, no, not at all. He's actually an S. Wow. All right, so he does not advance. He stops at second base, and that has to do with his runs scored and so on. Whatever stats Greg uses, I'm not sure. So it's first and second, and here's Jacob DeGrom. And this is where we're going to bring in DeGrom. Has gone 6 innings. And this is where the Mets are going to, tough one. Do I push DeGrom for another inning? It's the first game of the year. You know what? I'm going to bring in a pinch hitter. I know you're saying I'm crazy. But, okay, we're back. We are in a 2-1 game. Top of the 7th inning. McNeil is at second. Nimmo is at first. There's 1 out. Pitcher is Alvarado, and we're going to bring up the Mets are going to bring up a pinch hitter. It's going to be Jonathan Villar, who's a switch hitter, so we're going to let Alvarado face Villar here. And let's do it. Let's roll. The score, again, like I said, is 2-1, but Mets are threatening to pick up some more. DeGrom has been pinch hit for, so he's out. He's gone 6 innings, allowing basically 1 hit, a home run, leadoff home run by McCutchen, and 1 walk. And he struck out 10 in 6 innings. Pretty amazing. And our next pitcher is going to be, let's see here, for the Mets is going to be Castro. Well, it also depends on who's going to be. We're going to have a lefty, a righty, and Bohm is another righty. So we're going to have 2 righties. So we're going to bring in Castro to pitch for the Mets. He's warming up in the bullpen. He was their 7th inning guy. So Castro, you have Castro and Loop. You may bring him in the 8th inning, and then in the 9th inning, it's going to be today. Actually, Loop will be the 9th inning. The 8th inning will be Trevor May. He's the 8th inning guy. All right, let's do it. Here's a pitch from Jose Alvarado to Jonathan Villar, batting from the right side. This is 2021 game, April 5th, 2021. Here's a pitch, and that's a 46 with a 5. And that 5 is going to be a foul ball. Sends it foul into the left field seats. And he's in there. Alvarado checks the sign, sets and deals. And that's a 45, which may, it's a wild pitch. Both runners advance. Wild pitch by Alvarado. And that's ball 4. VR walks, so it's a wild pitch and a base on balls. And that's going to load up the bases for Kevin Pillar, the right-hander. And the Braves are going to the bullpen once again. So the Braves will, and I separated some of their pitchers for this game. They use a lot of pitchers in this game. Kinsler and Coonrod and a whole bunch here. I think I pulled them over and I put them here. They are. Okay, so we're going to get the earlier guys. Kinsler's going to come in. So Kinsler's coming in. What kind of stuff does Kinsler have? He has his C stuff, not his good stuff. Kinsler, C stuff. He's got to go at least 3 batters now. That's one of the new rules that they have. So he'll have his C stuff. And what we're going to do is prepare a quick Post-it to do that. There it is. So Kevin Pillar with the bases loaded is a right-handed hitter. Now the Mets, we could go and bring in a lefty, but we're going to let Pillar bat here. I don't want to overdo it. I don't really play that way. I play the older seasons, and I don't replace every guy, especially he's a leadoff hitter. So let's see what he can do against Brandon Kinsler here. Here's the pitch. Bases loaded. And that's going to be a 36, which is going to be a blank, and that's a base hit. And let's see what happens. See if runner on second can score. Nope, runner on second holds. So 1 run comes in. The Mets lead it 3-1. RBI single for Pilar. Scoring is McNeil. And that is number 6 comes in. I put it in a little circle. So an RBI for Kevin Pilar. And next is Francisco Lindor, another switch hitter. So it'll be Kinsler to Lindor, who will be batting from the left side. 3-1 Mets here in the top of the 7th. And here's a pitch again. And that's going to be a 12, which will be a line out. He's batting lefty, so line out is going to be line to first base. And it could end up being, that's going to be a double play. That's, no, double plays are 2 and 3 and 12 and 13 and 6. So no double play. It's a line out to first. I actually should just use that 20 because I hadn't used it. So here's Michael Conforto with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Michael Conforto today is grounded out, walked, and struck out. So the Mets got 1 in. Bases are still loaded for the Mets. It's Nimmo at third, Villar at second, and Kevin Pilar at first. So the Mets have good speed on the bases. A double could potentially clear the bases here. Brandon Kinsler against the lefty Conforto. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 51. It's going to be an error check. I'll pull the card here, an error check 51, an error check on the shortstop. Shortstop is Gregorius, and his rating, his E rating is an 8, so the 14 is too high. He makes the play, goes to second for the force, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up a run on 2 hits and 2 walks, and we go. And actually a wild pitch, right? No. That advanced the runners to second and third. So I didn't even write that the wild pitch in there. Wild pitch. And that wild pitch was by Alvarado. So we'll put that in here. Just wild pitch there. All right. So we're in the bottom of the 7th now. We're going to need a new pitcher, and it's going to be Miguel Castro, who is now a Yankee. And a few people, it seemed that he had played with Showalter, and Showalter's now the Mets manager, and he had not gotten along with Showalter, so they sent him over to the Yankees. So Castro, what did I do with Castro? Oh, goodness gracious. I have so many cards out here. It's not good if I can't find, there he is. Miguel Castro, let's see what kind of stuff he has. So DeGrom is out, went 6 innings. This is opening day. Had it been the second start, third start, I would let him go 7. But he also came up in the middle of the inning and runners on first and second, so I was kind of forced to pinch hit for him. So Bryce Harper is leading off. We have to roll 1d20 to find out, and he's got his A stuff. So Castro with his A stuff. I'm going to put a little post-it right here so we focus only on the A column. I really like that aspect of this game. And Bryce Harper leading off. Harper struck out twice against DeGrom. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 32, which will be a line out to left field. So he rips it to the opposite field, but right at the left fielder, Brandon Nimmo. 1 away. JT Realmuto is up next. Here's the pitch from Miguel Castro. And that's a 56. Struck him out. So first strikeout for Castro, 2 away. And next is Alec Bohm with a 33, and that's line base hit. Rips one to left, played on a hop by the left fielder, Nimmo. So Bohm is on, and he is a slow base running. That means he probably didn't score that many. I don't know what metric Greg is using for that sort of thing, but he's an S. Didi Gregorius is up now. Didi has decent power. Miguel Castro does not give up a ton of home runs, so he's pretty good especially with his A stuff. But Didi can hit one out. He hit 13 home runs and about 370 at bats, probably about 400, close to 400 plate appearances. So Gregorius the lefty versus Miguel Castro. And then, of course, a righty Segura, and then Hazley. And I don't know if Hazley will bat. He's a lefty. We'll see what happens. Here's a pitch. 2 out. Runner on first. Gregorius with a 31. That is a Ground ball. He's a lefty. Ground ball to the first baseman. Right there is Alonso. Flips to the pitcher covering. 3-1, and that ends the inning. They leave one on a hit. They score none. We go to the top of the eighth. Mets 3 and Phillies nothing. So we've got a pretty good game going here. Alonso's going to be leading off against Kinsler. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 55, which is a deep drive, and that's going to be one hop off the wall. Digging for second is Alonso. Here's the throw, and he is safe with a leadoff double. Pete Alonso gets a hold of a fastball and drives it deep in the gap for a leadoff double here in the top of the eighth. And next is J.D. Davis. All right. Here's a pitch to J.D. Davis, and that is going to be a 32, which will be a drive down the line and into left field corner. Alonso is going to come around to score, and headed for second with an RBI double is J.D. Davis. The Mets lead at 4-1, and I think that's going to be it for Kinsler, who does not have good stuff, so I'm going to pull him fast. Don't want any more damage. And we're going to bring a guy named Coonrod. So Coonrod will come in. What kind of stuff will he have? He will have his B stuff. So better than Kinsler. So Kinsler faced 5 batters, gave up 3 hits. He sucks. So his B stuff for Coonrod. Mets are on the verge of breaking this game open. 4-1 now here in the top of the eighth, and they got a runner at second with nobody out. Jeff McNeil is next. You know what? I'm going to walk McNeil. Actually, McNeil didn't have a great season, so I'm going to pitch to McNeil. McNeil did not have the season he's having this year or the season he had in the past. He struggled last season. So I'm going to pitch to McNeil, and here's a pitch from Coonrod, and that's going to be a 51. That's going to be an error check. But on who? That's the question. Error check on the pitcher. And Coonrod makes an error. He boots it. No, he picks it up, throws wild over the first baseman's head. Another run comes in on an error by the pitcher, and into second base is McNeil. A 2-base error by the pitcher puts the Mets up 5-1 now. All right, next up is James McCann. Pitch from Coonrod. 64, and that'll be a ground ball to third. Looking McNeil back is Bohm. 1 down. Brandon Nimmo. Here's a pitch. And a 22 will be a ball 4. He walks. That puts runners on first and second. And now it's the pitcher's up, but we're gonna bring in another pinch hitter. It's gonna be Guillorme. So Guillorme is gonna pinch hit. He's a lefty, and then we're gonna have a new pitcher. It'll be May, the eighth inning guy, and his stuff will be his A stuff as well. So the Mets are getting some good rolls. So Trevor May will be pitching with his A stuff in that 8th inning. And here we have a new pinch hitter. It's going to be Guillorme with runners on first and second. Coonrod. Here's a pitch. And that is a 21. Struck him out for a big second out. And Guillorme doesn't strike out all that much, but it got him there at 21. That is one of his few strikeout numbers. Kevin Pillar now. Pillar is 2 for 4 today, so he's having a good day, and he's got an RBI. He's got 2 singles. He will face Coonrod. Here's a pitch with the runners on first and second and 2 outs. See if Coonrod can get out of this inning, and it looks like he will. It's a fly ball, center field. Over is Hazley, and he makes the catch, and that retires the side. The Mets pick up a couple more, and on 2 doubles, an error, and a walk, and they will lead it by a score of 5-1. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Gene Segura leading it off against Trevor May now. And that's going to be a 65 pitcher home run, and that is a pop-up to third base. J.D. Davis makes the catch. Adam Hazley was 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. That's a 14, and that's bounced to short. Lindor throws a strike to Alonso for the out, number 2. And now we're going to pick up a pinch hitter here in the 8th. It's another pinch hitter, and who did they use? We're going to bring in a guy named Quinn to pinch hit. Actually, Brad Miller will pinch hit. Going to bring in Brad Miller, pinch hitter in the 8th. And Trevor May against Brad Miller with 2 outs. Pitch, and that's a 54. That's going to be a 54 chart lookup. It's a ground ball to a pitcher who knocks it down. Check the error on a pitcher, and he made no errors, so he fields it cleanly, throws out Brad Miller, and that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the top of the 9th for the Mets. It'll be Lindor, Conforto, and Alonso. Gonna get a new pitcher again. That's the thing with the modern games. It's gonna be Connor Brogdon. Let's see what kind of stuff he had. Oh, his C stuff. Oh man, just bad luck for the Phils. His C stuff. So Brogdon will have his C stuff. Just in a mood to play a modern game. I got a couple of. Check out my my replays. Brogdon's still pretty good. Even his C stuff's not that bad. He will be facing Francisco Lindor. Lindor today is 1 for 4 and an RBI. He struck out, singled, grounded out, and then lined out to the first baseman. So here's a pitch. And it's a 15, which will be a pop-up third base. Bohm. Under it, and Fair Grant makes the catch, 1 away. Next is Michael Conforto. Here's a pitch to Conforto. That's a 35, and it'll be a fly ball. Backing up a few steps is the center fielder Hazley, and he makes the catch, 2 outs. 5-1 Mets here in the top of the 9th. 2 outs, and it's Pete Alonso. Alonso today is 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI, double and a run scored, and a 15 here. Strike 3, and he strikes out for the 4th time, so he goes away with the golden sombrero. No runs, no hits, and 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 9th inning, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. New pitcher for the Mets, of course, is going to be Loop in this game. Aaron Loop comes in. And he will have his, Mets have had good rolls. He will have his B stuff. So it's kind of fun playing a modern game. I haven't played any modern games in a while. Long while. Probably a couple of years. I don't know. I can't even remember. I think I played the World Series. I think I played that. And I think last year, 2 years ago, I was playing the 2019 Mets. I don't know. I just stopped playing it. It's still floating in the air. All right, Andrew McCutchen's leading off against Loop, the lefty. So here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 62, which will be strike 3 and 1 away for the Mets. 2 outs away from victory here for the Mets, leading 5-1 in the bottom of the 9th. Aaron Loop. Rhys Hoskins now. Hoskins today is 0 for 3, a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout, 35, and that'll be a ground ball, second base. Picked up by McNeil, and he throws out Hoskins. And now it's Harper. Harper's up, right field. Played right field today. He doesn't play right field this year. He's a DH. He has a problem with his elbow. So 2 out, and here comes Bryce Harper. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Pitch from Loop. It's a 24, and that'll be a hit by pitch, and it will be. So he plunks Harper. So the Phillies have some life. So we're running around first with 2 outs. And here comes JT Realmuto. He struck out twice and grounded out. He's 0 for 3 today. Pitch from Loop. And that's going to be a 53. Oh, and that's going to be a range play. Range play down the line, and that's past the diving third baseman, Davis. That will send Harper to third, but stopping at first will be Realmuto. So the tying run is on deck now. Alec Bohm, first and third, 2 outs. Mets just need 1 out for victory. But the Phillies are hanging on. They will not give up. They will not give up. Here's a pitch to Bohm, and that is a 66. That's a drive, and that's going to be off the wall. 1-run scores, and they're going to hold up with Realmuto at third base. That's an RBI double for Bohm. And out goes the pitching coach to talk to Aaron Loop, who's getting lit up here a little bit. He's, after 2 quick outs, gave up a hit by pitch, a single, and then a double. So the score now is 5-2. The tying run is at the plate in Didi Gregorius, lefty on lefty. Yikes! Aaron Loop. So we got a good game here at the end, surprisingly. First and second and third, 1 in already. 5-2 the score. Here's a pitch from Loop, and that's a 22. Will be a line drive to left field. And right there is Nimmo, and that is the ball game. So 1 run and 2 hits in that 9th inning. Final score is 5-2. And let's quickly do the hits. 2 hits, 3 hits, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits for the Mets. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits for the Phils. And the Mets win it by a score of 5-2. Mets made no errors. The Phils made 1 error by the pitcher. 1 error. A couple wild pitches, by the way, from what I see. 2 errors. 1 by second base and 1 by the pitcher. So the Phils, with poor defense, lose it. So the Mets with 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Phils, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. And this is the opening day. The victory will go to DeGrom. A couple of holes, I guess, and then a save for Loop. He came in and the score, actually, I don't think he gets a save. He came in the score 5-1. So I don't think he gets a save in this one. And the loss is going to go to Moore. I'm pretty sure Moore gets the loss. The Mets were already up and Moore was still pitching, and the Mets were winning. So, all right, so that's it, guys. DeGrom 1-0, and Moore 0-1. The opening day 2021 modern baseball using Fall Classic. Check out the game; it's a great game. It comes with all the players, and it's easy to play, easy to learn. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.